Kitty Uwu accused of cringe.
Please, Judge, if you could take this seriously. At least 20 black olives. Darth Vader AI, who might be a little racist, but that's not pertinent to this. You know what is not cringe? A wall-sized portrait of Saddam Hussein, one of the greatest dictators of our time.
Alright, I want to state some rules for the court now. I would like to introduce an objection feature. Just, yeah? You could go back and forth, but you all need Kitty Uwu accused of cringe.
I bet he drew that.
Okay, prosecution, opening statements. What the fuck is cringe? What are we calling cringe in this court case? Because cringe is extremely open-ended. You gotta be way more specific than one word.
Cringe is definitely
You know what? Hold on.
All right.
I want you to pull up it's probably gonna be Urban Dictionary, but pull up the Urban Dictionary definition of the word cringe. Go ahead.
Hell no, man. What the?
Give me a definition of the word cringe. And
Well-
not the involuntary bodily response. Give me the slang that we're using, which was why I presented Urban Dictionary.
Well, cringe these days could result in the inferiority or a feeling of inferiority of about one's own culture, particularly the ick, as the slang term has been thrown around.
I wanted a definition, not circular redundancy. Don't tell me it's an ick. I don't know what that is either.
Okay, ultimately, it's the feeling of inferiority about one's own culture.
And what culture would that be, Mr. Danny Rom?
One's own culture of Kitty Uwu. Why that would be of unbountiful anime weeb cringe.
Unbountiful anime weeb cringe, and judging by that face, I would say that's a pretty accurate assessment. Alright, weeaboo cringe. I can get behind that. Alright, with that solid grounds here, I believe we have a court case. So,
All right.
Now, without further ado, opening statements, if you would please.
So one grave thing about cringe is that cringe can come from anything, anywhere. And a person accused of cringe must have to come from some very inferior subculture. Might I add, a culture of being a fan of the show Friends. And the client here does contain all 10 seasons of the Friends series.
See, that is a very popular anime, you are right. Alright, moving to the defendant's side, do you have any kind of rebuttal against this? I mean, this is pretty good evidence in support.
Oh, everyone's seen Friends. It's part of the culture of life at this point. But I do
What kind of culture, Mr. Better Off Friends, would you say? What kind of culture is the Friends life?
People who like to laugh and have a sense of humor. That's the kind. Obviously not our prosecutor over there. He is a soulless human being who probably stares at the corner of his walls. So...
Dull-less? Implying that he less dull?
What's wrong with
Dull.
that,
I'm
man?
having a hard time following you.
yeah, he's soulless. Anyway,
So he's not dull.
no, he's soulless. Why are you not
So
listening?
he's dull-less. He's without dull. They're listening to you.
Please, Judge, if you could take this seriously.
I am. I feel like you're not.
Alright, all I have...
I am within my grounds to silence you.
At least 20 black olives.
What?
That's all I gotta
What?
say.
What?
Now, now what does Black Olives have to do with the entire 10 seasons of Friends? Or Weeaboo Cringe?
I already passed my turn.
Right, you did. The defense does not make a strong argument. Would you like to exploit this?
Indeed, I shall. Why, this defendant here accused is not only cringe of owning all 10 seasons of Friends series, but also subject of poor internet connection. Now that is, I would suspect that is very cringe. Who plays online multiplayer games and has poor internet connection when these days we have fiber internet?
Fiber optic cables, you're right. I got
Objection.
my own house.
Or not objection, sorry. I didn't do the
Well, he
thing.
doesn't have the floor anymore, so I'm gonna give you the floor now.
He could not have poor internet connection. He plays Fortnite all the time, and he plays specifically with the Fortnite Darth Vader AI, who might be a little racist, but that's not pertinent to this. That's not a part of this.
Okay, so it's a little racist.
So, yeah, he cannot have poor internet connection. He plays Fortnite all day long, which is not cringe.
I agree.
Yes.
Actually, sorry. To take the stand for... No, actually, to give you the stand so that he doesn't interrupt. Without objection, that is. But, pray tell, what form of Fortnite does, your defendant Kitty Uwu play?
What kind
Which
of
game
form?
mode?
Oh, of course. The only one that counts,
Hmm?
the only one that
Uh-huh.
matters.
Right. Yes.
Ballistic.
Frankly, I have no idea what the fuck that is. I was unaware that was even a game mode. What
I'm
the
just
fuck are you
kidding.
talking
Me
about?
neither.
Your Honor, I'm just kidding. That's the Call of Duty version of Fortnite. It is an actual game mode now. But nonetheless, that was a joke. It is zero build.
Thank you.
Zero
Okay, I will
build.
accept this.
That I do contend with. That is
That is a
better.
non-cringe Fortnite game mode.
Yeah.
I agree. I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's take a short interruption here. No one has the stand. I'd like to make some statements here and write some notes. So, first of all,
Hey.
Kitty Woo is accused of being cringe, and both of you have provided some against. Let's see, we've got all 10 seasons of Friends, the most popular anime among white people. Poor internet connection, which causes rage amongst gamers everywhere, and that would cause someone to become, quote, cringe. However, it's been stated by the defense that, if I'm just gonna completely veto 20 Black Olives, there was no defense there, but they play Fortnite. They play Fortnite, and not just Fortnite, they play Fortnite all day on zero build. I mean, that's pretty not cringe. So I believe we're at a middle ground here. Rock, paper, scissors, who goes first? Say on the count of 3 with me. On 3, not go. 3, okay, ready? Say rock, paper, or scissors. 1, 2, 3.
Paper.
Scissors.
I'm inclined to believe you said that afterwards, but
Your Honor, I did not just wait till he said an answer to say the opposite.
I'm inclined to believe you.
Wow.
Internet lag is a poor thing. I mean, yeah, I mean.
Your Honor, do you-
We're speaking across 2 different time zones.
You're right. All right, both of you throw paper airplanes directly at each other. Whoever hits who goes
Fuck.
first. I said at each other. Okay.
I got him first.
Okay, do it again.
What?
Come on. Aim true.
No. What?
Ooh, all right.
Yo.
Danny, you go first.
I got him.
I would like to call the homeless man as my witness.
All right, the homeless man. Let's see. Do. There you go.
Yes, I am the neighborhood homeless man. I'm behind the Kitty Uwu's alleyway.
Yes.
Behind her
All right.
apartment.
Mr. Homeless Man
Yeah.
will be answering to the questions of Mr. Danny Rom. Now, Mr. Danny Rom, why have you brought this guest
So
here
I
today?
bring home the homeless man here because the homeless man appears to have been invited to some sort of anime conventional party that was being held in Kitty Uwu's home apartment.
I see.
So Upon your experiences in the house party at Kitty Uwu's apartment, what was the environment like? Uh, Yes, I would say very rude, very uncharitable home environment. There was hardly any refreshments. There was no charcuterie boards, not even a morsel on the trash can for a homeless man like I. It was just full of very sweaty gamers holding up CRTs, playing Super Smash Brothers. Okay, so you hear that, everybody? So this is very clearly evident of cringe.
What does this have to do with anything?
The accused is cringe of not providing refreshments to the house party.
What?
Very crowded, smelly house party full of Smash players. And
Objection!
I accuse the.
All right, what's the grounds of objection?
Can you
What
switch
is
to
it?
mine real
No?
quick, please?
Shit. I mean, you can offer your objection. That's what you can do.
Objection to what he just said.
Of course. What's your reasoning?
Can you just switch it over?
Do you have evidence?
Yes, of course, I have it.
Oh lord. Fine.
Uno reverse card. I've know him and his witness.
Well, you probably should have played that
I'm-
after I
no.
was about to play my last piece of evidence.
I'm sorry, Mr. Danny Rom. I'm forced to uphold the honor of the Uno reverse card. Your witness has been revoked,
Okay.
and all of his testimony.
It's like it didn't even happen.
That said, that is your one Uno card. That is
Yes.
the only one in the entire deck, and you've used it, so that's also a piece of your evidence. So you're minus one piece of evidence, and
Alright.
it's still not your turn. Therefore, prosecution, you have to stand.
Start all over, buddy.
They own an empty fridge.
God damn.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's
They just
kinda
have
cringe.
they just have a shelf full of instant noodles.
That's pretty weeaboo cringe.
Uh,
And not old instant noodles, but the Final Fantasy VII Remake instant top ramen noodles.
Bruh.
you know what is not cringe?
Actually, I kind of fuck with the Final Fantasy remake. I'm not gonna lie. The Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is kind of the best out of the franchise, anyway.
I think it looks very pretty. I haven't gotten the chance to play it myself.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes, you may. I believe this has been long due.
You know what is not cringe? A wall-size portrait of Saddam Hussein, one of the greatest dictators of our time.
Whoa. Hold
It
the
is
fucking
not
phone.
cringe.
Hold on.
That is not
What? Okay. Greatest. You say greatest.
Yeah.
Define greatest.
Yeah, one that people can inspire to be as.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll allow it. There's at least a dozen people, right? There's at least 12. At least. There's 8 billion now, right? There's 8 billion motherfuckers on the planet. At least 12 could aspire to be Saddam Hussein. I'll bite. I'll
Yeah.
bite.
True.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance.
Yes. And with that, I still have more if I can.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that you were. Wait. Hang on.
Yeah.
Excuse me for this. That
never mind.
does take the green bubble from you. That does? Wait, really? That's kind of dumb. My apologies, Mr. Better Off Friends, popular YouTubers, sir. Continue with your defense.
Actually, I am finished for the moment. If you would like to say something, my apologies.
All right. The defense has given the floor to the prosecution. Moving forward.
All right.
Once again, sorry to revoke for a second. Gentlemen, you can oppose one another with an objection on stable ground. If you have a good reason to object something one or the other is saying,
Well, I already
you
did
can
mine.
immediately. Well, you can do it again.
Oh.
Per turn, like if the turn passes, you get one objection.
Okay.
leading with the prosecution.
All right. So now, I understand that it's not uncringe for someone to have a giant poster of Saddam Hussein in their room, but I agree that it is cringe to capture footage of the esteemed Bigfoots in crappy megapixel resolution. This isn't even megapixel. It's only 40 pixel resolution.
That's pretty crappy.
That's very crappy. I think that's absolutely cringe. It just gives more leeway. It gives more leverage to those Bigfoot
right.
hoaxers.
I mean, really. Yeah, you're pretty good on that. Yeah. I do agree. That's kind of cringe. I mean, why supply that as evidence at all? Am I right? All right, moving. Defense.
I believe that if my defendant here was to want to actually capture some Bigfoot footage on camera for supposedly the first time, that is indeed not cringe, but in fact based, and maybe even Pog.
Hold on. Are you in fact saying that your defendant not only took this footage of Bigfoot and supplied it solely for the basis of feeding misinformation to the masses?
It may not be misinformation. Oh, fuck. It may not be misinformation. It might actually be the real deal. Right?
But
Anyway.
who's to say?
Who's to say not? Why not just believe it?
Okay, I think I get what you're putting down. Okay. The court would like to motion the dismissance of the evidence of Bigfoot footage because maybe the client did that, but maybe the client did that on the grounds that they were based and they were feeding the Bigfoot community a hoax. In the guise of misinformation or perhaps proper information. They would never know. I mean, that's kind of based.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Defense still has the floor.
Yes.
You offered a good point. However, I would like to hear you move forward with this. One good point does not a court case make.
Another thing that my client does on the regular, in front of the Saddam Hussein wall-size portrait, which is based as well, satanic rituals. Nothing about that is cringe. That is risking his own very self-being for a better possible afterlife. I say that is indeed not cringe.
I don't know, man. I
That's
think,
debatable.
I
don't know, man. You gotta believe in the afterlife for that.
I believe.
I think Lord and Christ, our Savior, is the based option here. I don't think satanic rituals is very based.
No, cringe is what
That's
is.
kind of cringe.
Cringe is the obvious answer. Based is the non-obvious. Everyone knows that in internet lore.
No.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
believe so.
yes.
All right, I'll ask you only once, and you get this one chance to redeem yourself. Now, what are those satanic rituals for? He has to have a reason for sacrificing his soul, right? He wasn't doing it for shits and or giggles. So what on earth was he doing it for? Maybe this would be based.
He is doing it for his Lord and Savior, Saddam Hussein.
I think the defense has made their case. Prosecution, do you have anything you'd like to add as a last minute rebuttal?
My final piece of evidence of them being cringe is they are guilty of also committing heinous comedic relief circumstances. Conspicuous banana peel.
That's based. That's immediate dismissal. That's based.
Oh, really? I was under the assumption people hated banana
He
peel.
looks at his notes again.
I mean, I mean, funny circumstance, making your friends laugh, a cheap guffaw, a free one, might you add? No, not one under charge. I mean, free laughs. I mean, that's why we live, right? I mean, you go to work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5. If you could get a cheap laugh, I mean, that's pretty right. That's giving that.
I don't even like
freely.
bananas.
Now that's not Pog.
I find that damnable, Mr. Prosecutor.
Bananas are a godsend.
I know I'm supposed to be bipartisan in this court, and I honestly feel like I've given bias to both of you, so therefore bipartisan. Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That said, the both of you are missing, if you press tab, quite a amount of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot has been dismissed, and quite a lot has been disproven. Quite a lot of it has been proven in the case for the cringe of Mr. Kitty-Owoo, and a lot has defended against the cringe committed by Kitty-Owoo. Allegedly.
Yep.
Not once has someone called the dog to the stand.
Yeah, who's dog? That's your dog, buddy.
I don't know how the dog would help.
You know what?
I think
Since you do have that resource available, would you like to? Just if you'd like to
Sure.
further prove your point, because I'm at a 50-50. You don't have to.
All
I'll
right,
choose
no,
by
I
coin
will.
toss.
I got you.
Okay. Just so you know, you can fuck this up.
How do I bring
Okay,
him?
you can fuck this up. If you fuck this up, I'm gonna choose him. I will.
Oh,
Right now
Alright.
it's a 50-50.
Alright,
I'll flip
alright,
a
I
fucking
got-
coin, okay? I have
okay.
a quarter right here, okay? But if you fuck this up, I'm choosing him.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, you have to stand. Would you like to call your witness?
Yes.
Alright. Dog each of the stand.
Now the dog has no, words to say. Obviously, it's a dog.
Hang on.
What?
I would like to support you. I would like to give you my own hang on. Fucking is it this back? What's this back pocket? Sorry. Okay. Left back pocket. Go. I have a doggy translator device. If you would take it. There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Defense.
Ow.
And then I will call your witness to the stand, and you can translate for us. How about that?
All right, sounds good. But I was gonna say that the essence, and this is my defendant's dog, the essence of having a puppers in the house is in fact not cringe. They quite opposite. Dogs are a beloved thing in this world.
I agree.
wouldn't be called man's best friend for a reason.
True. Next time I pick up this gavel, it's going to be to make a choice. Just saying, gentlemen. And you do have an objection, Danny. Just saying.
All right.
All right, so Mr. Doggo, can you tell us how you feel about your owner? I guess. Owner good, owner great at Fortnite. Hey, I mean, I guess that's all you really need to hear from the dog, right?
Yeah, 0 build, huh?
Yes, 0 build, of course, that we already established.
What is...
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, objection.
Wouldn't being too good at Fortnite be considered cringe in and of its own?
What I was just about to say. The floor is yours.
Indeed, I'd say spending too much time in Fortnite, akin to a previous case of someone being accused of playing too much Fortnite, in fact, stay straight.
All right, defense, your rebuttal.
We have already established earlier that she plays all day, playing Fortnite 0 builds, and you both said that is in fact not cringe. We're
Of
not,
course, but is too much of a good thing a bad thing?
no takesy backsies.
Too much of a thing on poor internet connection too.
Not poor.
Well, it was alleged if it was poor or not. She does do it all day. I mean, if it was poor connection, would she really do it all day? Eventually she'd get frustrated, right?
Yes.
Indeed, but again, that's still too much Fortnite.
In the court of law, no takesy backsies. You did say it was not cringe.
I have
Fellas,
nothing else to say, Your Honor.
fellas, I'm still at a complete standstill here. I feel like we've gotten nowhere. I feel like this should be... I feel like we should be going to trial twice for this. Honestly, I feel like this should be a mistrial, right? That's what this is.
Mistrial.
A mistrial. no.
Mistrial. So the defendant here is a female. It ain't no Mr. Trial.
What? Prosecutor, that's a terrible thing to say.
I think the prosecutor's asking for a second chance, and I don't think anybody here. It's 1 a.m. I don't think we have second chances to give.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Danny.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. or Mrs.? That is a no implication of anything. I just want you to answer the simple question.
Yes.
Mr. or Mrs.?
Mr.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, he let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. My dad said to choose the very best one, and you are not it.
Yeah!
He's guilty. If he had said Mrs., I would say mother, which is 2 syllables, which would have changed the verdict. Just saying, let's go.
Wow. Wow.
Awesome. Pleaded insanity to reduce their sentence. The judge agreed and sent them into an asylum.
Stuck for the
Where they
life
were
of the
stuck
roommate
for life with their
convinced
roommates invincible. They were
Oh my
the
god.
combination of a cursed toaster. Over time, they started to
That's
believe the
arguably worse.